Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Khan and Miss Polly here. We're super excited to be giving you our first lesson over video. So you guys all should have received this nifty difty little bag here. That is a whole bunch of fun seeds that was donated from Walkers for us to be able to do this upcoming project with you guys. We're gonna walk you through the first few steps of it today, and then we'll follow up every week with a different lesson of what you need to do with it. So our first thing is unboxing this lovely bag. So you have your beautiful bag. What you need to do before you open it though is get a piece of paper and a writing utensil. The piece of paper is going to be where we separate the seeds, and the writing utensil is going to be so we can identify which seed is which.
So now that we have all of our materials set up on our table with our piece of paper, our writing utensil, and the bag that came in the mail, we can go ahead and open up our bag. If you have a card from Walkers in there, you can go ahead and put it over to the side. We're not going to need that. And if you have a little Ziploc baggie with some small seeds in it, same thing. Put that over to the side for now. We'll label that bag separately. Then we're going to take our seeds and pour them out gently on the piece of paper so they don't roll away. You might want to give them a little help while you're doing that. There's one type of seed that's very, very small. If you want to keep that in the bag, it might be helpful. And make sure they don't blow away. And then we're going to go ahead and just separate out our different seed types. You want to separate them based solely right now on what they look like. We will explain what they all are in just a minute. So my little guys, I'm going to make sure are all over to one side since they like to grab onto everything else. I think it's static. And as you're doing this, you want to be careful not to smush any of them, not to lose any of them, especially if you're doing outside like we are on a windy day. And so now I have 3 piles and 2 little plastic baggies filled with seeds. Maybe. See, these little guys are hard to move around. So what I'm doing is I'm just using my finger to push it on them and get them up. I'm gonna get a little spit on there. So, for our first step now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sets of seeds going on. The first thing that we're gonna do before we start to label what types is we're gonna separate them like so. And we're ready for our next step.
All right, so now we're picking up where we left off with Mrs. Khan. We have our 5 piles of seeds here. Now it's time to label them. So we have a couple different things here. This section here, these might look familiar. These are our bean seeds. So we can go ahead and label them beans. We have peas over here. They might look like the peas you eat, but more dehydrated. These seeds down here with their little ovals, kind of look like circles and are pretty lumpy. Those are spinach seeds. In this little tiny bag, or if you had a big bag inside of your, or another snack-sized bag inside of the first one, those seeds are carrots. So I'm just going to go ahead and write carrots on the bag itself. That way, if this bag moves, I don't have to worry about relabeling. And the last, those little tiny seeds that kept floating away and are very staticky, those are lettuce seeds. And these are going to be a leaf lettuce. So I'm going to label them leaf lettuce. So we have those 5 different types of seeds: beans, peas, spinach, carrots, and some leaf lettuce. So now that we have our seeds identified, now it's time to figure out what are we going to plant them in. So to get an idea of what we need to plant them, we have to figure out, how many little cells are we going to need. So when you plant beans, you want to plant 2 beans per cell. And when I say cell, I mean a little spot in when you're planting. So we want to plant 2 of them. And I have 3 seeds here, but you'll notice that one is really cracked. So we'll let Mrs. Khan zoom in on there. This seed is very cracked. This one's not going to germinate. It's not going to produce any sort of plant. So I can go ahead and pull that one off to the side. That one doesn't matter. I can throw that one in my compost pile. Now these two are going to go into one cell. So I know I need one cell for my beans. Peas, these ones you'll also plant about 2 per cell. So if I group them into groups of 2, I've got 3 groups of 2. So I know I need 3 cells here. Spinach, for this one you can do about 3 seeds. These ones are a little bit smaller. So I'll go ahead and separate them into groups of 3. And again, I'm looking for any cracked seeds. If there are cracked seeds, I can just toss them out because they're not gonna germinate, or I can just leave them in there and they'll keep going. So I've got these into groups of 3. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 3. So I need 6 cells of spinach. Now with the other ones, get to counting. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to count your little tiny seeds. Those ones, when you plant them, you're just gonna do a pinch. So with the amount of seeds that you have, this will probably be like 3 or 4 pinches. You could probably even do more if you do really tiny pinches. For these ones, you could do 3 seeds if you feel like you want to separate them out. 3 seeds per container, or just a pinch. I like carrots, so I'm going to try to split them up into 6 cells. And there's quite a few of them there. With the lettuce, also quite a few of them there. I'm going to go with also 6 cells. Or we can do them in a flat, but that's another story. So now that we have our seeds identified, we know how many cells we're going to need for each of our groups of seeds. And see, they're already starting to blow away. Get them back in their circles. Now it's going to be time to figure out what to plant them in. So check that out for our next video.